Hello, how are you? I've got a new pattern for you today. Actually, it's new for you, it's old for me. I've been doing this one for years, and it's an intermediate level pattern. I'm not going to teach you to crochet. I'm going to show you the steps to make this wonderful round Tivit. I use these on the holidays all the time when family is here. I put my pots and pans on them, and they're wonderful. They're nice and strong. The heat is not going to touch the table. What you're going to need for this project is some cotton yarn. You want cotton because when the pot hits it, you don't want it to melt. So you want cotton yarn. And then a size G, any type of size G hook will help you. Any type of size G hook will work. But that's what I use. If you want to use an F or a little bit bigger, you'd be fine. But the tighter the stitch, the better. Because you see how nice and tight it needs to be? You really don't want anything getting through these suckers. And it's not going to if you do it the way I tell you to do it. So are you ready? Let's go. Let's take care of these. These make great gifts. If you make a couple of them in different sizes like this, stack them up, put them in a nice box with some tissue paper wrapped around it, put a box lid on it and a bow around it. It's a beautiful gift. So let's go. Let's get started. Welcome back, everybody. Today I've got another crochet project for you. Again, I want to reiterate, I am not a professional. I'm only a grandma. But I've been crocheting since I was 14 years old, so I've been doing this a long time. I'm not perfect at it. We all have different ways of doing things in the crochet world. I'm not here to teach you how to crochet. I'm only going to show you the steps that I use to make these terrific looking Tivits for your pots and pans on the table. I definitely use these every Thanksgiving. I absolutely adore them. I call this the scale stitch. Some people refer to it as a wiggly stitch. Others refer to it as a shell stitch. I like to call it a scale stitch. So, they're pretty easy to make, intermediate level, definitely. You need to know how to do a hat. We're going to start off with hat stitches, stitches that you would use to create a hat. And that's what we're doing here to make this perfect circle. So what you have to do is you have to create a circle, and then you have to increment each time to make it bigger and bigger and to keep it flat. That is a challenge. So we're going to do that together. Not sure I'm going to get it right on the first try. It's been a few years since I've made these. You can see they're all crunkled up. But they work perfectly. I absolutely love this pattern. So let's go ahead and get started. You're going to use a 4-ply weighted yarn. I find that to be the most successful. You're also going to use a small needle, like a G. I prefer G. G is my favorite size. That's the first needle I started off with when I was 14. I cleaned this, but it doesn't come off. So anyway, I've got this size G here. It's a 4.5, what is that, mm? I don't know what that stands for. But anyway, we're gonna start off like we're doing a hat. We're gonna chain 4. Let's stick that there, so reminder of what we're doing. Now, best practice for me is I always tie a knot at the end of my yarn. At the end of each tail, all the strands, I always tie a knot. That's just to keep it from straying, making a mess, the fuzzy messes that I don't like. So I'm going to go like that, and I'm going to make a loop here. Now, there are other ways to do this, but this is the way I was taught, and this is the way I've always done it. So I'm going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm then going to take my hook and I'm going to stick it here in the first hole where I began my chains. I'm going to wrap it around and I'm going to pull the string through both of those. And that's going to make me a nice little circle. You see it's smaller than that one, and that's what I wanted. I'm then going to chain 2. So I'm going to go with doubles. I want it to be nice and thick for the pots and pans. So I'm going to put 12 double crochets in this hole. So I go 1, 2, wrap it around, stick it in that hole, pull it out, pull it through once, pull it through twice. That's a double crochet. And I'm going to make 12 of those in this hole. And it does look like it's about the same size, doesn't it? I thought I used 8 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. And 12. I must have used 4 because that hole looks bigger. All right, so anyways, you gauge it with what you're using, the yarn you're using and the needle you're using, and you go with what you feel is best. I used the 4. I chained 4 and I put 12 in the first hole. I'm sorry, I chained 4 and then I put 12 double crochets in the hole after I closed it up. Now, the next second row, you're going to want, did I start it here in the middle? Okay, I didn't do it in the middle, in any of them. Okay, so we're going to see how that fits there nicely. We're going to do 24 on the next row, which means we're going to have 2 in between each double crochet. So you're going to take, this chain counts as 1. So you're going to wrap it around, put it in the next, between the next 2 stitches, pull it through, and you're going to put 2 in there. And I'm going to explain why. We need these rows to get bigger and bigger. So they need to increase in size. Each row needs to increase in size. So for the second row, we're going to put 2 in each. So for the second row, we're going to put 2 in between each stitch. 1, 2, and then you're going to put it in there. Apparently I have the TV on in the other room, I forgot. I hope that doesn't bother anyone. All right, wrap it around. Who am I hearing? Mimi's Life. 1. Whoops, again. See how nice that is turning into a circle there? It's going to fit nice in here. How many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 of those. Okay. I think I'm just going to put that on the floor so I stop messing with it. Then you close them up, and you're going to, this is where you have to really focus on what you're doing. In looking what I've done in the past, I have 5 shells here. I don't know what happened there. 5.5 shells. You know, when you crochet fast, you just go. Sometimes you make mistakes and you don't realize it. Let's move that out of the way. So I'm going to start by putting 6 stitches in this first one here. I chain 2, I have a new row, and I'm going to put this in the front stitch. You see how it's a chain, 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 chain? We're going to be using that front stitch. For this pattern though, we will be using both stitches. So first we're going to come across and we're going to use these stitches, and then in the next row we're going to be using the back stitches. So let's start with the front. You're going to wrap it around. You're going to go underneath that chain there, pull it in, 1, 2, and then you're going to put 6 in there. 4, 5, and 6. Now, let's see if I can remember if I closed it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wrap it around, put it in the next 4th stitch, double, close it, and put 6 in there. Okay, there we go. See how that looks like that? Yeah. Okay, wrap it around, 1, 2, 3, 4th stitch. That's 6. Wrap it around, 1, 2, 3, 4. See how that's looking, and you see how I'm using the first part of that chain stitch. It makes that little line there. That's what you want. You can't see it after a while. All right, wrap it around, 1, 2, 3, 4. Six. Second, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting. I'm still going to go with the 4 because it looks right. It's a different type of yarn. This yarn here is cotton yarn. That might make a difference as well. I believe I use cotton yarn for these. We'll still go with it. We'll pretend. Oh my gosh. We should have used cotton yarn. Cotton yarn sits better. It won't melt when the pots are on it. So you definitely want to use cotton yarn. We'll keep using this as for the tutorial reasons. All right, so wrap it around. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to close it up. This is where it gets confusing. We're going to be using these back rows. So I'm going to go in here, pull it out, close it up. That's going to give me a nice, see how it gives me that nice little flower? Perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, and I'm going to start working in the back row of that chain. You see how it's here? You can't see it here because I'm using it, but for where I haven't been using it, you're going to wrap it around. Gonna go in the first chain, and you're just going to chain 1 because we have this chain here and we have this stitch, so that makes 2. The next thing we're gonna do, wrap it around, go in the next chain and do 1. We're gonna go 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 all the way to the end. And what that's going to do is it's going to increase your row so that it's getting bigger, because we're now on this row here. So it's getting bigger. It's going to allow you to be able to, yeah, okay. So then we're going to do 2 in the next one. One in the next one. That one makes it nice and easy because we didn't use these front we skipped these 4. These are the 4 that we kept skipping. So we're going to go in the back, do 1. The next one we're going to do 2. Do I have 2? No. One, 2, 1, 2, Now you see how that's cupping up there? And here you're extending the rows. See how that's becoming bigger? That's what you want all the way through. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you're going to do the same thing all the way around till you get to the end. So then, when you get to the end, you're going to create a new row working in the back stitch. And in this new row, you're going to go 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. And for every new row thereafter you do that, you're going to increase your 1. So your fourth row is going to be 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. That's going to allow it to get bigger and flatter. But that's all there is to it. Just keep going till you're done. We'll do one more. We'll close up this row, start the next row, and then we'll let you take it over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, working in the front stitch. You're going to do a double crochet, and you're going to do a total of 6 of them. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is such a beautiful pattern. Clean lines. Oh, I love it. See how pretty that's curling up? One, two, three, 4. And we're at the end. I'm going to, you can see it better on this one. I'm going to stick the needle in at that chain that we made for the first stitch in the row, like we're about to make right here. And look how pretty that is. Oh, love it. Okay, now going back. I'm going to find the first stitch in the back there, which would be this one. I'm going to pull it through there. I'm going to chain 2, and now I'm going to start working in the back of the row. You see how pretty that is? Clean lines all the way around. That's what we're going to start working in. Very nice, very nice. Oh, I love this pattern. Oh, have I said that already? Okay, so now we're starting to make a new row. So we did one row. We can count these two as one row, and we'll count these two here as the second row. Now we're working in the third row. In the third row, we're going to do the same as in, we're going to put 2 stitches first. This chain 3 counts as a stitch, so we're going to put in a double crochet in there to make 2. Then in the next 3 stitches, we're going to use a single right here. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do 2. 1, 2. Then we're going to do 3 singles. 1, 2, 3. Remember, you're working in the back chain, so you could make another row to work in. 2, 1, 2, 3. Looks like a rose. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next, we're gonna do 2. Then we're going to do 3 singles. Next, we're going to do 2. One, 2, 3. Okay, let's take a little thumbnail here. That's good. It's really pretty, isn't it? All right, so we're coming to the end here. I'm going to make this about this size. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm putting 6 in there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's really nice how it curves like that. Such a pretty pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go to the end and show you how I close it. It's just like any other project. Then we'll tie a little knot in it. Now, you can make it as big as you want. Your last row will be the shells. The most important thing I can remind you of is use cotton yarn, because you don't want these to become pot stickers. Meaning when you put a pot on it, because of the acrylic, it will melt and stick to the pot. And then this is it. This is really all you have to do. It's a really easy project. It makes really nice gifts. Everybody loves them. They're useful. I want to thank you for watching today. If you have any recommendations for my next project, let me know. I like to stick around with short, easy projects, useful ones. If you have any suggestions, let me know. And if you make this, I would love to see your finished project. So if you would email me at mhtrendy, Trendy, finds a picture of your finished project, I'll feature it on a future video. Now, when you get to the end of the row and there's not 4 and 4, just divide whatever stitches you have left in half. So there's 6 here. I'm going to go with the third one. Okay, and then for the last stitch, you're going to go to the bottom of the first, you're going to go to the end of the row, and before you get to the first shell, you're going to go in the hole before it and chain it closed. You're then going to cut a fishtail with some good scissors. Excuse me. I'll trim that up in a bit, but for now, pull it tight. I'm going to pull that through, pull that tight. I'm going to put a knot at the end. Okay, then you're going to get a darning needle, or you can use this. Go underneath one of the chains and just keep pulling your yarn through to try to hide it in. Goldie, I'm watching you. and then just snip off the end. I'm a little knot crazy. I like to make sure it's done, but there we go. I like to make sure it's not going to come out. And that's it. There you go. There is your beautiful rose Tivit. Absolutely gorgeous. Give it a try. Thank you so much for watching today. I'll see you on the next video. Y'all take care of yourself. Bye-bye.